players want to make it up as they go, but making it up as you go can lead to a pretty boring story. So today we're going to talk about one writing tool, one writing habit, to let your players have that freedom to explore, to drive the story forward by their own actions, while also letting the story feel like something that was carefully outlined. Last week we talked about how you can't write an outline for your adventure, but you can still give it some structure by being a movie producer and using a flexible itinerary. Those are my terms from the last video. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out before you watch this one, because today I'm going to talk about a third crucial habit. Sit down and see there's still spit wads on my tripod. Just gonna try to get out of there. Ooh. Obviously, you can't write an outline for your adventure because players do the unexpected. You know, in addition to failing their die rolls, sometimes players have a tendency to gloss over plot points you give them, to get overly wrapped up in plot points that you give them, or completely go a different direction than the plot that you imagined. So here's the tool I use, the beat sheet. This is actually a screenwriting tool that you can read about all over the internet. Movies don't have outlines, they have beat sheets. And a beat is a turning point in the story. So after you've brainstorm the basic ideas that you want to put in your game, and I have a whole other playlist for that. The first part of putting that in order, because you can't really put it in order, is to figure out what are the turning points in this campaign or this adventure. Condense that stuff into distinct turning points where everything changes, where the stakes rise for the PCs. Luke and company arrive at Alderaan, but it's been totally blown away. Percy Jackson makes it back to camp, only to find out the cool kid was the betrayer. When you're thinking of your stuff, your campaign ideas, in terms of turning points, rather than as this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, it's going to be a much punchier, crisper story where it's clear at every point how the PC's problems have changed or gotten worse. One of my players once said to me that movies go boom, 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 but role-playing games tend to go boom, boom, boom. And maybe you only get one good boom in a session. And he's right, but bad movies do this too, and the problem with bad movies and bad RPG sessions is they don't have good beats. So how do you do it? A beat is a plot twist. X, then Y. Overcome one problem, but incur a different or worse problem. Frodo and company make it out of goblin-filled caves, only to be chased into trees by goblins on wargs. The fleeing criminal safely gets his heirloom watch back from his apartment, only to be stopped by a red light as the crime boss walks by with a box of donuts. And the thing is, when you're thinking this way, X then Y, it's scalable. Movies have beats, scenes have beats, conversations have beats. Campaigns, adventures, encounters all have beats. The place you see this most clearly is combat. Every round is technically a beat, but there are also major beats that happen to fundamentally shift the battleground, either as something a PC does or an event you throw in. So thinking this way is going to make you better at every part of storytelling, and is going to make your ad-lib for those unexpected moments more interesting. Here's how you run a beat. Know that a major beat you've written doesn't have to happen all at once. It can happen over several scenes, spread out as far as you want. Basic movie structure has 15 major beats. Now, obviously a movie has more than 15 scenes in it. To go back to those examples before, arriving at Alderaan to find it gone is the big beat. Hiring a ship to get to Alderaan is a less important beat. That beat could have been changed. It might not have been as good, but we could have had a movie where Luke stowed away or had his own ship. Them getting attacked by stormtroopers as they're taking off in the ship is a very minor beat. It keeps things exciting, but it didn't have to be on the main outline. It's not one of those 15 major beats. The beat needs those little scenes to set it up, to let the characters know something's going on, but they don't know what, to mislead the characters, to push at the tipping point where they realize, oh, this could actually be bad, and then, boom, hit them with the actual plot twist. Those are your mini beats. Tarkin destroying Alderaan is actually a minor beat. It's only there so Skywalker can have that big twist of his whole quest up to this point is changed. Knowing which big beat you're currently working up to is a tool for you to know what's driving the story right now, what the story is being pulled toward. That is going to drive your contributions, your small twists, things you toss in, and information you give the PCs. And one of the benefits of thinking this way is you're not going to be stuck with a plot twist that you feel like you need to throw onto the table, but your players aren't in a place where it makes sense, because you'll be letting that big plot twist define all of these scenes that are leading up to it. Just ask yourself, is it time for this to happen? Well, that's it for the beat sheet. Let me know in the comments, is this a tool you would use? Do you have a different structuring habit or method that you use to give your players that freedom to make it up as they go, but not have your story sound like something that was made up as they go? If you want more story structuring tools, check out this playlist. And for more on making your plot twists flexible to any situation, check out this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I do new game mastering videos every week, so stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.